Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. If you want to know how much a person respects you, there's many ways to figure it out. One of them is seeing, for instance, when you're talking, if the other person will interrupt you or talk over you. If you want to know if you're respected more than the person next to you, is the same way. When you talk, if you're interrupted and they talk over you, but when your neighbor here talks and they don't talk over him or her and they don't interrupt, then you definitely know that this person next to you is given more respect than you, and he has a higher level on the hierarchy or in the eyes of the person who's listening, the audience. So the same thing in international affairs. If a country says something, if another country doesn't really care about what that country says, that tells you that is bottom feeder, I don't care about that country. Now, if another country says the same thing or does the same thing as this one, and the same country pays attention and takes note on that, that means gives more importance to that country than to the other one. That's very simple. Now we have here Russia, China, and the United States of America. We have this person right here, which is United States of America, and we have here Russia, and we have here China. All right, we sit next to one another, and we have the audience, the United States. Now you can figure out how much that country fears Russia or China, or respects Russia or China, based on its reaction to the same actions. Well, let's go. I have this little article here that comes from, I wasn't sure what to pick first, the glasses or the telephone. So this is Reuters by August 6, 2022. Blinken, the US Secretary of State, cites China's irresponsible cut in US communication channels. So Blinken talks about, China's irresponsible cut in US communication channels. Do you remember if he said the same thing when they cut the communication ties with Russia? Whenever Russia did something in response as a policy to United States of America, United States of America did not give a rat's ass about that. But China just reacted a little bit about the environment and all that, global warming. It's so important here. So that and, another two more things. And these guys are all scared now. They're all, oh my God, China, my friend here, my neighbor, China did something that Russia did already, and they didn't give a rat's ass. Nobody was concerned, nobody said it's responsible, nothing. And besides, China showed, I would say, in some ways, more aggressivity than Russia, because they initiated this. These guys did the Pelosi thing. Well, Pelosi thing has no really, just a symbolic move and a part of the United States. This guy said, yeah, okay, we're going to do this, bang, 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 bang. And they did. And all the Americans are, wait, China is upset now. When, for instance, United States kicked out Russian diplomats from United States, Russia did the same thing. It's not right, but, when the United States, withdrew from certain, how do you call that, previous contracts or that they agreed upon, start one, whatever, nuclear proliferation and all that. The Russians did the same thing after they did and said, okay, let's see how upset are these guys now. Manila, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken accused China of irresponsible steps on Saturday by halting key communication channels with Washington. They stopped communication with us, that's irresponsible. But with the Russians, let's play tough a little bit. That means you're not scared of Russia, but you're scared of China. Okay, on Saturday, by halting key communication channels with Washington, which, remember, Russia and United States have no communication. Zero. Is anybody irresponsible? And that's a war in Ukraine. It's okay, it's zero. But this just, we're not going to talk about the environment. Key communication, we're very concerned now. There's no war there. All right, communication channels with Washington, and said that its Taiwan actions show the move from prioritizing peaceful resolution towards use of force. The other guys are engaged in a war. We're not concerned. His comments came as Chinese aircraft and warship practice on Saturday for attack on Taiwan, an attack on Taiwan. Islands official said. Taiwan, I said island official said, yeah, the guys from Taiwan, part of the raft of steps taken by Beijing after visit by U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi earlier this week. China's retaliation is stopping bilateral processes in 8 key areas, including defense, narcotics, transnational crime, and climate change, were moves that would punish the world, not just the United States, Blinken told a news conference in Manila. Those include several, I'm quoting, those include several military-to-military channels, which you don't have open with Russia, but you don't care, right? Which are vital for avoiding miscommunication and avoid crisis. What are you talking about? You destroyed those channels with Russia, and Russia is at war in Europe, and you're not so concerned about it. You don't really care about it. So now, remember, Shoigu and Austin spoke about a month and a half ago for the first time after the February 24th incident, start of the military operation, special operation. That's all good. But these guys, oh my God, they don't want to talk to us about something that might happen in the future. And I'm quoting. And the second one is suspending climate cooperation. That's the second issue of this article. The first was military, which should be, right? And the second one is the climate. That's the highest in an agenda of Blinken. Climate. Well, just to be honest and straight, it's not for me, right? It's somewhere around nowhere. All right, so climate cooperation doesn't punish the United States. It punishes the world, particularly the developing world. We should not hold hostage cooperation, blackmail, blah, 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 blah. You're guilty and we are the good guys, on matters of global concern because of difference between our two countries. It's not global concern, it's you guys' global concern because you want to do some hanky-panky to us. So I disagree with that, my boy. All right, and then again, that's the third paragraph. So the first paragraph had 3 lines, pak, about military. Second paragraph had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we go to the second one, another paragraph, which is this, again with a climate change. Tackling climate change has been a key area, blah, 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 blah. So that goes for about 4, not about, exactly 4 lines. So 4 with what? With 6 is 10 lines, that's the climate change. And military was 3, so it was a quarter, right? Less than a quarter. And then we go back down. Blinken said the United States has been hearing concern from allies about what he called Russia's dangerous and destabilizing actions around Taiwan. But Washington would remain ready if the handling of the situation, in its handling of the situation. Well, that's what the problem is. So let me be clear. Blinken said, I'm quoting, the United States doesn't believe that it is in the interest of Taiwan, the region, or our own national security to escalate the situation. Do I need to take this and show you, which I'm pretty sure you know, where Taiwan is? This is the United States here. Where Taiwan is, we keep going over the Pacific, and it's somewhere right there. All right? And China is right there. China, Taiwan, and United States is right here. How is that national security? You got the Pacific. How is it? Well, you can make it, being your national security. We'll keep our channels of communication with China open, like you keep it with Russia, which is at war with someone that you are supporting, proxy war, with the interest of avoiding escalation due to misunderstanding of miscommunication. So, wait a second. He talked about a dialogue. Can you believe he's interested in dialogue? We seek to de-escalate those tensions, and we think dialogue is a very important element of that. Did you hear that? How much dialogue was with Ukraine? Do you remember Russia and the United States with dialogue? Remember? So why are they so concerned with China? We seek to de-escalate those tensions, and we think dialogue is very important, a very important element of that. Maybe they don't even care. Maybe they just talk about it. And then when it happens, when it will happen, not if, when it will happen, we say, well, we'll try to de-escalate, but the Chinese did not want to talk to us. But I didn't hear this kind of, concern with Russia and in Ukraine, but I hear it with China. What does it tell you? It tells me that these guys care more about China. I don't know if the circumstances dictate, which is Russia over there and China over here, so you don't want two in the same time. But if you don't want two in the same time, you don't send that 1,000-year-old Pelosi who can't keep her denture in her mouth to Taiwan to create more problems. So that was the decision approved by the US government, because without the US government approval, that plane would have not flown to Taiwan. Got that? Okay, now we got that done. Let's move on with the next idea. This is my take on this, and on this situation, I'm very, very surprised to see, not very surprised, because China is more tangled with the United States than Russia is, economically, financially. China is what? First, second, with the United States economy in the world. Russia is what, 10th place or something, or something like that. So not really important. Nuclear weapons, yes, both have. And now there are other problems over there. Russians, I would say, I don't want to say that. I changed my mind because I don't want to get in trouble yet, or like that, just saying something that is true. But anyway, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.